Hello everybody and welcome to Off the Rack, I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan. And I'm Ben.
Welcome to week 2 of Convergence and our non-stop Convergence coverage. It is
blanket coverage.
Yep, blanket coverage of Convergence. We do 2 titles from Convergence, one of which is the main title, and 1 tie-in title.
Which changes because, you know, they're not all out yet.
No, it's true. So this week we did Convergence number 2, written by Jeff King with art by Carlos Pagwalian, and then we did Catwoman Convergence number 1. So let's jump in with Convergence number 2. First of all, Ethan's back. Welcome back to Off the Rack.
Hey.
Did you read Convergence number 1?
I did.
Okay, good. So you're caught up.
Yeah.
You're on the same page.
Yeah.
Initial thoughts of Convergence number 2?
Decent book. I'm on board for this. I thought it was pretty good. I am more, I definitely approve more of Convergence now that I know a little bit about what's actually going to happen. I'm like, okay, there's a plot now.
Right.
There's a conflict. The characters, like, have a goal. So, you know, in that sense, it's getting better for me.
And it's not just fighting each other.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's still going to happen.
Right.
I'm on board. Obviously, we're still doing Convergence, but
I mean, we'd be covering it even if it sucked.
it's true.
Because we're covering Convergence.
That's right, Convergence! And then next month we'll do Secret Wars!
Oh, man.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of cool. What do you think of the art?
It's well done and it's well executed, but it's not really all that impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very conventional.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
No
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't complain whatsoever about it. There were no issues that were like, what?
Yeah.
Except for Batman's ever-changing emblem.
Now, which Batman is it? Is it regular Batman?
Yeah, it's regular pre-Flashpoint Batman.
Okay.
I think, but then again...
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
Well, the only
Because it's a
characters
very
we know for
generic
sure
Batman.
are Earth 2.
Yeah, and they go to another city,
Right, that's Gotham.
Gotham, and Batman's there,
And the
Alfred's
characters
there.
that we know
And
are
Oracle's
there. Yeah, Oracle is there, which means it's definitely not New 52.
Right.
It has to be pre-Flashpoint.
But Alfred doesn't shoot them with an elephant gun.
It's true.
So I'm a little lost.
I know.
Well, it's not Predator versus Batman, then.
Yeah, but someone just showed up in the Batcave.
Yeah, and he's just like, hey,
You're in the Batcave?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll just,
welcome.
you know.
I guess you're supposed to be here.
All right, well,
You're dressed like a bat. You fit right in.
You're a back character.
Yeah.
No, but he meets Dick Grayson first.
Oh, that's right.
He's just confused. Just like, well, yes, of course, everything's fine. Don't worry, Barbara, everything's good. Now, would you mind telling me why you're here?
Yeah, it's not
Who
only
the hell
that.
are you?
Yeah, exactly. But, like, also, you're Dick Grayson, and
Yeah,
I know
what
you're
you look
not,
like.
but I also know you're not my Dick Grayson.
Right.
Which means maybe it's not pre-Flashpoint, maybe it's, like, kind of like pre-Flashpoint, only Dick Grayson's dead or something. I don't know.
Maybe if he just came in and hit the guy with, like, a baseball bat, or like a silver tray, or a teapot or something.
You would have felt more like...
I would have felt more like Alfred actually reacting like himself.
It's true.
Like, someone's in the Batcave! I better do something! Instead
Yeah.
of, you know, politely ask them what they're doing.
Yeah,
I feel like knowing that it's Dick Grayson, he's like, well, this must be important somehow.
So let's get into the writing, I guess.
Sure.
The writing was fine, once again.
Yeah.
Things are kind of crystallizing as far as the story goes, and I thought the characters were all written consistently and well. I'm actually kind of disappointed we didn't get a lot of Val Zod, which is the Earth 2 Superman.
Yeah.
Because I want to get more into his character. I thought it was kind of neat. But of course, this is a Bat-heavy episode, obviously, from the cover.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Bat-heavy episode from that, and also we're getting a whole lot of Flash, I guess?
Yeah, a lot of Flash.
Or is
yeah.
it... that is his name in Earth.
Yeah,
right?
he's Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I like it.
Yeah, he's cool.
I think he's doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt cheated by the Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne meetup.
Yeah, there was not much there.
Not much there.
I was expecting it to be really cool, and it was just like, so...
Yeah.
Hey.
You know,
and they don't even set... there's no dialogue. It just... The narration tells you that whatever they say is very important.
Yeah.
And Dick Grayson, you know, just... It's not for me. I wasn't part of that.
It's like... He was like, whatever I write won't be nearly as awesome as what you imagine it to be.
Right.
How about they hug? Fuck you!
Yeah, it's his fucking dad. I don't care
And it's his
what's going on.
son! Like,
Yeah.
both of them died in each other's universes.
Yes.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Maybe that's coming. Maybe that's
Right.
what you're looking for.
I don't know. I feel like
I
we
feel
got
like
it on the
probably
cover.
not.
We got it in
Yeah.
this. We got
Look,
like 3 pages
all
of
right,
it.
I get a hug, but no smiles. How about that? Can we agree on that?
That's... You know what? I would concede to that.
I feel like
Maybe a
possibly-
really good handshake. But like a handshake and then the
Yeah.
extra hand on the outside.
Yeah, or that handshake where you shake...
But then you shake
then you-
it.
And then you shake again. So overall impressions of Convergence number 2.
I'm on board.
It's
really it's stringing me along.
It's disappointing in the meetup between the back characters,
Yeah.
but so much better than I thought Convergence would be.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
actually
not-
kind of interested.
I'm not dreading issue 3.
Yes.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think
You know what really impressed me? They finally, like, the Brainiac planet character
Yeah, tell us.
has a weakness.
Right!
Like, it's like, okay, so there's hope that, like, there will be like my characters aren't just going to get murdered all the time.
Well, not only that, but there also won't be a problem where like some esoteric bullshit reason will be why Telos is defeated.
Yeah,
It won't be like magic or like hope.
Yeah,
will defeat him.
Yeah, like maybe they could actually just beat him. Maybe all these
how many
superheroes
superheroes
working together will just win.
Defeat him.
Or maybe there's some hidden superheroes that we don't know about.
Or
Right.
maybe
That'd be cool. Yeah, under the surface.
But this is the strange thing. So all of these planets were about to be destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah, they were all on the
brought
end
at
of
the
their
moment of their like
destruction.
doom.
Yeah.
So like, if someone wins, where do they go back to?
Well, they're going to create like a new world because he says like the victor will like begin again with a,
Yes,
with
but he hasn't been very specific about what that means.
From that point,
I mean, my guess, for my money, I think it's going to be like, that New 52 universe, the one that no one is from in here? Yeah, I'm just going to use that. I'm going to take your city and blamp right there.
just put it on that Earth.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. Or he'll make his own Earth.
Or it's like,
he has a
well, you'll
planet.
live here on me.
that'd be terrible.
They don't even have access to, like, food and stuff.
No, he gives them everything they need.
It's
so
true.
He generates it somehow. Or something.
No, because he doesn't. They have like food shortages.
That's
and things.
true, but he says I
Well, the
provided
city's
everything. But then they establish in Catwoman that like people have to like grow their own food and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think that's because I've provided things for you.
Right, like
but
they
the
have
way-
light, heat, and
But the
electricity.
way the civilians
the way you
react
distribute it.
and the way they
Right, that's up to you.
live, I mean, that's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Right. So if like a gang takes all the food,
Yeah. Hey, listen.
I'm
before
not
other
going to
people
give
get
you
it,
more food.
I'm not gonna walk through the city and give every
No.
person a sandwich.
It's pretty,
Like, you've got to deal with some of it on your own.
It's pretty contemporary.
Yeah.
It's deep. Anyway, Convergence number 2, I guess it's pick up from us, and hey, if you're reading Convergence, then I guess that's a mandate for me.
Well, yeah.
So, let's get into the tie-in that we did this week. It's Convergence Catwoman number 1, written by Justin Gray, and art by Ron Randall. Initial thoughts of Catwoman number 1?
It was okay. There were a couple parts that really pissed me off, like how we got the narration of what was happening from the guy,
Yeah.
from that evil gangster mob person,
Yeah.
and then we got the same explanation from Catwoman.
Right.
It's like, I don't... Well, now she'll say it. All right.
Well, we
Yeah.
get her perspective on it.
Right, but
I
it's
guess.
really the same. Like,
Why do we have to hear that twice?
Yeah, what I liked about this book was it shows you like a slice of life in a city that's been domed in for a year.
Right.
It's kind of interesting to see like how like the city managed, how like bad guys kind of like took over distribution of resources, and
Yeah.
they grabbed all the chemists and people who worked in pharmacies and stuff. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a cool like you're building that world.
Right.
And I appreciate that effort. Mm-hmm. That said, overall, I was bored.
yeah. This was a chore to read. I love the world building, like you said. I thought it was a great idea, and you know what? There's some books that just need to be that.
Well, that's because there's not much else here.
Oh no. And I've heard a couple people, Joel from ComicPOP Cast, mention that this is just, they just set it up and went, okay, great. Alright, now let's get all of our shit from the DC offices in DC and move them over to LA. Like, just get it over there. Like, it is literally, and I think DiDio actually has said, like, this is a placeholder event until we move. Like, it just, we set the clock, and now it's just gonna run. And, like, fine, but, and some of this is really cool, it's a great concept, but we need someone in the lighthouse
Yeah.
to change the bulb.
Yeah.
We're gonna crash!
yeah.
This book
heading
is a
for
crash.
Rocky Shoals.
This cat will, yeah, and they're shaped like a cat because this book was not great.
No.
Great concepts, but the execution was a
I
problem.
really disliked like the way Catwoman talked. Everything she said, I was just like, that's lame, dumb.
Yep. Now that's very much pre-Flashpoint Catwoman kind of, but that said,
It's like, who never thought that I would be a hero?
yeah,
Blah, blah.
yeah, I
That's
don't,
just it. Again, she's telling that whole narration that we've already heard.
yes.
Well, and we can see it. Like,
Right, and it's demonstrated. It's a visual medium.
Yeah.
That said, what do we think of the art for this book?
It's fun.
that's good.
The art's kind of fun.
Yeah. I think Catwoman looks weird,
Yes.
and that did bother me. But I was like, well, that's just a personal like taste.
Well, that's also because it was like, oh, well, this is a Catwoman I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's just it's a little lesser than by the numbers for me. I feel like there are clearly cut corners. It's a weird aesthetic / era to depict.
Her face changes. And
Yes,
that's
there's
weird.
her
there's
face
very
is
little
inconsistent.
consistency
That's
in
true.
it, and that last page reveal
well, yeah.
is a bomb.
Oh, it's an abomination.
That's a very terrible page. It should be a really cool moment.
It should be
And
an
it does.
awesome moment, and it's not. It makes me... it's one of the few matchups that I'd be interested to see that now I don't even want to bother with.
Yeah. Unless it's drawn by somebody else.
Right. It does nothing to service the plot. It just gives us a little bit of world building, which is a really great idea.
Yeah.
But it's not done in a clever or unique way enough for me to care.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not like... It's not worthwhile.
No, it's
enough.
thoroughly
You
dispensable.
can't justify its own existence.
This is the problem I have with tie-ins. We read Convergence Superman #1. I was like, indispensable. It's
Yeah.
great. This, totally dispensable. Totally disposable.
And I don't know who it's for, because, like, if it's for Catwoman fans, like, but this is not regular Catwoman.
No, and
It's not a good
So, like,
Catwoman, but I guarantee you Catwoman's still going to come out on top of this. It's her book.
Sure, whatever.
Well, yeah, there's no...
Who fucking cares? Like, that's the thing. Like, and nobody will... And that will impress no one.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
satisfying no one.
Literally, who wants this? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know who it's for. That's true.
Well, it's not for us.
No, it's
Not
clearly-
for us. But is it even for Catwoman fans? Like, I don't think so.
Well, because
like,
Catwoman has evolved from that character
Yeah.
into a much more interesting one.
Yeah.
And then back into a less interesting one. But, like, the fact is, there are better eras of Catwoman to capture.
Yeah.
And this is more of, like, a fun concept than it is in execution. I think
Yeah.
that this is more like, in the pitch meetings, we're like, hey, remember the old 90s Catwoman? The one where, like, you use body paint instead of a costume? Like, that's awesome. Let's do that. And people
Yeah.
will be like, I remember that. Let's do it. And then they do it. And they're like, I can imagine him sitting at the table and just going like,
Oh.
we got a problem.
How many days until we have to... Oh, we can't turn back now. All right.
Yeah.
Let's just full speed ahead.
Exactly.
Just do it.
Hey, nobody... Did you guys take Convergence Green Arrow? Oh, okay, you got it.
Damn it.
So...
What has been called? Oh, Captain Carrot.
You can have it.
All right, we'll do Catwoman.
Both
I
of
would
them?
take Captain Carrot over this. at least something funny might happen.
So there you go. That's our week of Convergence coverage for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check us out next week when we read Convergence #3 and another tie-in. Hopefully something more interesting. Later.
Bye.
Bye. There's no music!